American for Good Government. We do provide financial support for Asian American candidates in public services. Other than doing fundraising, we also hold events like this to help our Asian community to better understand democracy and take our civil responsibilities. We are happy to have you join us today. It's important to have this dialogue with the community so we can work together to keep Americans safe and great. I would also like to thank Mr. Yan Zhang and Ms. Katie Yang and the Bakers both for sponsoring today's event. We are honored to have Ken Fang, the Executive Board of Directors from AEG, to be here. He has given me much encouragement to make these things happen. Santa Clara Sheriff Laurie Smith and Assistant Sheriff Rick Song has helped Chinese community connected with the FBI. Congressman Ken Liu sent a letter of support and wishes for productive events. Congresswoman Judy Chu has sent a video message to us as well for today's event. Let's welcome Katie Yang to present Congressman Liu's letter and Congresswoman Judy Chu's video message. Thank you.
Singled out Chinese students and scholars and said that they are so threatening that they require a whole of society response by us. Does this mean every Chinese student should be the subject of surveillance just because of their race? This is on top of the shocking treatment of people like Professor Xiao Shengqi of Temple University in Philadelphia and National Weather Service hydrologist Sherry Chen in Ohio. They are both Chinese American scientists who were accused of being spies for China, arrested in a humiliating way, and had their names dragged through the mud, only to have all charges against them dropped without any explanation.
Introduce Mr. Craig Fair. Craig Fair is the Deputy Special Agent in charge in San Francisco Division of FBI. It's an honor to have him here. And also we have Craig's colleagues, Mr. Mark Yaroshitsky.
Nice.
Hold on. And also we have Special Agent Nikki Betts. Welcome.
We had a couple of goals, several goals coming out here. One, we're hoping to have an honest and open dialogue. To us, and Mark hears me say this all the time, words are important. They're exceptionally important. Be very clear and concise about what you say so that the other individual receiving it understands exactly what it is, the intention, the spirit of what you are trying to convey. When that doesn't happen, it creates all sorts of problems. And we can give numerous examples of that, bad communication. But even worse than that is no communication. And so for us, it's a privilege to be here with you today so that we can initiate, hopefully, an ongoing dialogue. It's not good enough for us to just show in front of you and then go away, and that's the end of the relationship, the end of the dialogue. So hopefully this is the first of many more to come. One of the other primary goals that we have here is introducing you to the FBI.
We were one of 3 pilot offices in the FBI to stand up a squad that is completely focused on our external engagement liaison and outreach. Our squad, which consists of myself, Nikki, 3 other special agents, an intelligence analyst, and a community outreach specialist, have the responsibility of making sure that we are talking to the community groups, civil groups, religious groups, private sector partners, businesses and companies, as well as our law enforcement partners, to really do 3 basic things. The first is to understand them, understand what their needs are, understand what their concerns are. Because if we don't know what those are, and if we don't have a good understanding of what the issues and concerns are of our partners, we're not going to be able to do a good job working together to solve common problems that we have. The second goal that we have in that outreach and engagement revolves a lot around education. As Craig is starting to describe to you, there's a lot of misperception about what we do and how we do it. And I just have to tell you the story, because my wife would kill me if she knew I told this, but I have to tell you this story. She's brilliant. She's a physician, and she's one of the smartest women I've ever met. And she grew up in California. I don't know if you realize this, but some people perceive California to be a little liberal. And I came out here from New York, and we were dating about 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and we were having dinner one night, and I could tell that she was just a little bit, I don't know, anxious, a little bit worried, to the point where it kind of got me a little bit worried. Oh my God, I thought this was going. She took a deep breath, she sighed, and she said, when you guys have to like secretly kill people, how does that work? So I about choked on my food, and then I couldn't stop laughing. And I said, do you really think that we do that? And her eyes got kind of big, and I think she realized that it probably was. That is the entire purpose of our outreach group and our squad, to meet you, to understand how we can work together better in the future. So that is our goal, that's our objective, that's what we do. I wish that if there were 50 of us, there would be more work than we could handle. There are so many people to talk to about so many issues. There are so many bridges to build, and we've only got 5 builders. So you can't build a lot of bridges with just 5 people. But we are getting out and talking to hundreds of people every year at events like this, and trying to scale that outreach and engagement through our programs and our platforms like Citizens Academy, like InfraGard, DSAC, and National Academy.
We'll just do a brief overview so you're familiar with the terms, with what we're working with, and just the expectations if we do get this allegation that comes across our desk. Generally, how did the FBI start working these investigations? Congress decided that theft of trade secrets was a major threat to economic security. And as we're all aware, economic security is national security. So Economic Espionage Act of 1996 enabled the Department of Justice to investigate and to prosecute crimes with theft of trade secrets. A part of that Economic Espionage Act were the statutes 1831 and 1832. 1831 defines economic espionage as the knowing theft or misappropriation of a trade secret to the benefit of a foreign government, agent, or instrumentality. The difference on the other side of that is 1832, which is theft or misappropriation of a trade secret to a user that's the person that's not the original owner of that trade secret. And we throw around the term trade secret a lot. What exactly are we talking about? I'm sure you've heard hard trade secret, soft trade secret, just a lot of verbiage and dialogue with that term. And the way that we define it is that it's really any information. It could be economic, technological, engineering information, but it has to follow 2 criteria. That company that owns that trade secret has to take reasonable measures to protect it, number 1. And then number 2, there is an independent economic value of that trade secret to not be made to the public. You can look through the testimony, through the evidence, through the court proceedings, just to see how really involved this activity was and how this dialogue went. There were consultants that also confirmed that the trade secrets were known to be stolen from U.S. companies and agencies. So we just wanted to provide some visibility on how this communication occurs, how companies do protect their trade secrets, and how an instance can get to that point where economic espionage does occur. Mr. Fair did mention earlier that how these allegations are pursued is usually by a phone call from the victim company stating that a theft has occurred and that they would like us to investigate further. Federal grand jury members has decided that the evidence pieced together in its totality equates to a crime has been committed. So I know I went through fast. I appreciate you taking the time to go through all of this information with me, but we just like to offer some visibility on the complex process that actually occurs with theft of trade secret investigations.
Thanks.